Well, I want to see what we're looking at here. Oh, this is Alaska, statewide in Alaska. So we're here today to talk about what everybody's talking about, and that is record high gas prices. And whether you're here in Washington, D.C., or whether you are up north in Alaska, everyone is seeing the impact. For 9 days now, we have seen the national average of our gas prices above the highest ever levels. If that doesn't get folks' attention, I'm not quite sure what will. I come from a state where, we're an energy producer. We recognize that, but yet we pay some of the highest energy costs in the country. And right now, our gas prices are the 6th highest in the country. Statewide, regular gas has increased by more than 50% over last year. It's actually been 52%. As of yesterday, Alaska's statewide average was $5 a gallon. This is the highest ever average in our state. And again, we're used to somewhat high prices, but when it's on average over $5 in places like Anchorage and Fairbanks, think about what that means to our rural communities. Over 80% of our communities are not connected by road. So fuel comes in by barge, fuel comes in by air. In Fort Yukon, up the Yukon River, gas is $7.25 a gallon. Up in Noatak, just above the Arctic Circle, it's a stunning $11 a gallon. And so think about what that means. It's not just what you're paying when you fill up your car. It's everything else that is associated with it. If you're a fisherman in Cordova, Alaska, we had a conversation with a fisherman who said that last year at this time, he fueled up his boat, paid $2,500 to fuel up his vessel to go out and fish for black cod. This year, same time 1 year later, he paid exactly double. He paid $5,000 to fuel his vessel. In the meantime, the costs for food and for his crew have gone up by 10%, and the cost for insurance has gone up by 30%. What hasn't gone up is the prices that he's paid for his black cod. So you look at this, and this is absolutely unsustainable. It's not just the price that you're paying at the pump, it's what you're paying to keep your homes warm. In Noatak, where again, you've got pretty high oil prices, think about what that means for your home heating fuel. $1,200 a month. How is any of this sustainable? How can you have sustainable communities? So we're now at a very exciting time in our state's calendar. It's spring. Spring brings a breakup along the river system, and the ice goes out in the Sound. But it's equally exciting because that's when the barges come. So you haven't had fuel since the fall. So think about what that means to these communities, whether you're Fort Yukon at $7.25 a gallon or Noatak at $11 a gallon. And you're now locked into a spring fuel barge delivery where they're anticipating that the increases will be $1.50, but not just $1.50 that you're transitioning into, but you flip the switch on that now. These are the everyday realities that people are facing. So you can't afford to fuel your boat to go fishing. You can't afford to put fuel into a snow machine or a four-wheeler to go hunting. So this is real. This is real. Now you're going to hear my colleagues talk a lot about the prices in their state, which are impacting the people that they represent. But Alaskans are saying, all right, we're dealing with this right now. What are you doing in Washington, D.C. to address all of this? They want to know, what's the plan here? Right now we've got an administration whose plan is to blame anybody but them and their policies. They're quick to blame it all on Putin. Yes, there is a war. Yes, we recognize that. But these price increases started long before Putin crossed into Ukraine. This is not something where you can just blame big oil and go after price gouging. This is not something where you can attack others when it is failed policies that this administration has put in place. It really comes down to basic supply and demand. And we know that supply matters and domestic supply matters. If we're not learning anything from Ukraine and Russia and what we're seeing in Eastern Europe, domestic supply matters. So the Biden administration needs to reverse its anti-supply actions. It needs to take its bad ideas off the table. It needs to restart our development programs. It needs to start approving crucial projects that deliver greater supply. It's a pretty simple choice here. We can pick Alaska over Iran. We can pick Wyoming over Venezuela. So it's pretty easy here. My colleagues are going to have a great deal more to say about this, so I will turn to the senator from Wyoming, the ranking member of the Energy and Natural Resources Committee, who's been leading on these issues for a long time. Senator Brasso.